Friends, let us start with section 18, and that is ITC under special circumstances. This section and the rules mentioned speak about ITC provisions under given special circumstances. And what are those special circumstances which are given in these numbers? We will see. It speaks whether ITC available for inputs in raw material stock, work in progress, finished goods or capital goods. For whom? For these many things, items or persons. Right? So what is the first point? ITC available for inputs. Input which is available in the stock, which is available in the work in progress and in the finished goods and in the work and in the capital goods. Okay. Now how do we avail such inputs which are embedded in these things? Let us see. For persons required to take registration on section 22 and persons taking voluntary registration, if there is any person who is taking registration under section 22, that is persons liable for registration as per aggregate turnover that we calculate, right? So if any person is taking registration according to this subsection, this main section, that is 22 for registration, then how he can avail the ITC on the inputs? Because earlier he was unregistered and now he is going to take the registration under section 22. How do you calculate the inputs or ITC? We will see these all things. Okay. And persons taking voluntary registration, even if the aggregate turnover is not up to the mark, there are many people who are taking voluntary registration because they want to get the ITC. In such cases what is the provision for ITC which is held in, which is remained in this raw material stock, which is embedded in work in progress, finished goods or in capital goods? Okay, this is what we are going to learn in section 18. Similarly, composition dealer taking normal registration or normal registered person taking composition dealer, how will he take the input tax credit? The same point is given here, right? So exempt supplier becoming taxable supplier, or exactly ulta, that is reverse, taxable supplier becoming exempt supplier. How will those people avail the ITC? The amount payable on supply of capital goods or plant and machinery on which ITC is taken, and the ITC transfer on account of change in constitution of the firm. Change in constitution of the firm means you are actually transferring your business as a going concern to some other person. In the case of merger, in the case of acquisition, in the case of demerger, on such cases, how will you avail those inputs on ITC? We will calculate. Let us see those, right? There are some rules also, and those rules are rule 40, 41, 41A and 44. These rules tell how to avail those ITC. Rule 40 is for manner of claiming credit in special circumstances. Rule 41A, transfer of credit on sale, merger, amalgamation, lease, transfer of business. This is what I was speaking about, change in constitution of the firm. Rule 41A is for transfer of credit on obtaining special registration for multiple places of business within the same state or union territory, and rule 44 is for manner of reversal of credit under special circumstances. So these rules are relevant for section 18. This is what we are going to learn. So let us begin with this section 18. This flow diagram will help you a lot. Right, there are these four important parts of section 18. Switching from composition to regular scheme, exempt supplies become taxable, and then persons registering as per section 22 and persons obtaining voluntary registration. There are these main important points under section 18. Right, let us start with this. So those persons who are switching from composition dealer to regular scheme, let me also tell you, composition dealer do not have any ITC, right? So if they want to get transferred into regular scheme, then there are certain rules, and those rules are given here, right? How do they avail ITC on inputs, right? So credits entitled on inputs as such held in stock, inputs contained in the semi-finished goods held in stock, and inputs contained in the finished goods held in the stock, right? These 3 points are same in all these boxes over here, except for exempt supplies become taxable supply because they have ITC on capital goods. These persons, these 3 persons, 1, 2 and 3, they do not have capital goods input tax credit available for them, right? Please remember. So any inputs which are held as such in the stock or in the semi-finished goods which are held in the stock or in such finished goods as held in the stock, right? In such cases, on the day immediately preceding the date from which he becomes liable to pay the tax under regular scheme, on that date we are calculating ITC, right? On which date? On the day immediately preceding the date from which he becomes liable to pay the tax under ITC under the regular scheme. For example, if the person who is opting from the composition scheme to the regular scheme on January 15, it means the day preceding that day, it means on January 14, whatever he holds the stock on the closing date of January 14, whatever he holds the stock, on that ITC whatever is calculated is available fully for that person, right? Then exempt supplies become taxable, right? In such cases, right, I will read the next part, that is for capital goods used exclusively for exempt supply, right? Exclusively for exempt supply is reduced by 5% per quarter or part thereof from the date of invoice. So we are calculating for capital goods, and if capital goods are used earlier for exempt supplies and now they are being used for taxable supplies, whatever that part they have been used for exempt supplies have to be reduced according to this rule, 5% per quarter. So they have, if they have used capital good for exempt supplies for 1 year, then there are 4 quarters. It means 4 into 5%, that is 20%, we are reducing its value from the date of its invoice. Hope you have understood this point. And ITC is available on the day immediately preceding the date from which such supply becomes taxable. Similarly, as we have seen here, right? If this person gets taxable supply, makes taxable supply on January 15 itself, then whatever he had availed earlier ITC on January 14, he has to reverse that, because January 15 onwards he has to make the taxable supply, and thereafter he will start receiving the ITC. Hope this is understood. Next, person registering as per section 22 and persons who are voluntary taking registration under section 22 or 24. 24 is for compulsory registration, or even for 25, that is process for registration. In such cases, all these inputs, right, are available for them and not on the capital goods, right? For those persons who are registering under section 22, right, on the day immediately preceding the date from which he becomes liable to tax, and for those people who are obtaining voluntary registration on the day immediately preceding the date of registration. This is what section 18 says. However, I have given some notes. ITC claimed shall be verified with the corresponding details from the corresponding supplier. Who will verify this? Either certification from chartered accountant is taken, or from cost accountant is taken, or GST officer will verify this. And then ITC in all above cases shall be availed within 1 year from the date of issue of invoice by the supplier. This sentence is important because ITC will be availed only within the 1 year. Hope this is clear. Now this chart will help you understand ITC availability on inputs, stock, or work in progress, finished goods, or capital goods. So let us start with the persons who are taking registration within 30 days, that is as per section 22. Right, ITC is available. ITC is available on inputs which are held in stock and in work in progress from the date on which he becomes liable to take registration. See, I have given this chart. Let us directly go to the chart. This is 1st January when he is unregistered person, and in that month only he becomes a registered person as on 31st of January. So what happens in during this date is that 10th of January he becomes liable to take the registration, but he takes registration on 15th January because we have 30 days time. 30 days time from the person becoming liable for registration from the date of 10th January. He has 30 days, but on 15th January only he takes the registration, and therefore ITC is available from this date. Right, this is what section 18 says, because here this is when he takes the registration, the person who is claiming registration. Right, so 15th January onwards he will be having registration, ITC. Now, person who obtains voluntary registration, voluntary means not as per section 22, it is as per section 24 or 25 or even 27. 27 is for a casual taxable person and non-resident taxable person. That is where you can get the registrations. Section 18 says 1b, ITC is available on the inputs which is held in the stock. Input also means the raw materials, and which is held in the work in progress immediately previous day of registration. So this is the January, and on 31st January the person is becoming registered person. On 15th January he takes the registration voluntarily. Right, so ITC is available from the previous day immediately preceding the date of registration, that is on the 14th of January. Whatever he has the stock, closing stock, on that he can take the registration. Also he can avail the ITC. Hope you have understood this point. These both persons who are taking registrations either under section 22 or other sections, ITC is not available on capital goods. Okay, now let us go to the next point. This section provides that no ITC can be claimed after expiry of 1 year from the date of invoice. So if you have taken any raw material, any stock, finished goods, unfinished goods, semi-finished goods, whatever, if you are availing any ITC from such invoices which is older than 1 year, you are not going to get the ITC. Right, so further ITC can be claimed either of the due date of filing next year September month's return or filing of annual return of that financial year. What they say here is that the time limit is given earlier of these two dates, next year September month or filing of annual return for that financial year will be the last date. Next September month's return means it is filed, GSTR 3B is filed for September month in the month of October, that is 20th of October is the last date. So what this point basically says is that you are either taking ITC on October 20th or filing of annual return. You can also file annual return as on 31st of December, whichever is earlier. Now to avail ITC, person has to submit form ITC 01 on or before 30 days from the date he becomes liable for availing ITC. Now instead of saying liable, I can say beneficiary. He becomes beneficial for availing ITC. Right. So in case where total ITC to be claimed is more than or equal to 2 lakh rupees, certification is required from a chartered accountant or cost accountant. Okay. Now example has been given here. To understand this, Mr. Z becomes liable to pay tax on 1st August and has obtained registration on 15th August. Mr. Z is eligible for ITC on inputs held in stock and as a part of semi-finished goods or finished goods held in stock as on 31st July. Mr. Z cannot take ITC on capital goods. This is what I had depicted here in this pictorial format. The same example has been given here. Please pause the video and read it. Now there are other cases. Persons opting out of composition tax to join regular tax scheme, right? So from becoming non-eligible to take ITC to become eligible to take ITC shall be entitled to take ITC in respect of inputs held in stock, inputs contained in semi-finished goods or finished goods held in stock. These provisions are also allowed to take credit on capital goods which are exclusively used for making exempt supplies and that be reduced by 5% per quarter or part thereof from the date of invoice, because for capital goods ITC is available for such persons who were earlier being a composition dealer and now they are becoming a regular dealer, right? Next point. Earlier people were used to supply the exempt goods. Now they have become taxable due to some notification from the government, and in such cases capital goods is also available. ITC is available on capital goods reduced by 5% per quarter or part thereof from the date of invoice. What do you mean by part thereof? See, 3 months is 1 quarter. 1 extra day of 4th month will be counted as 1 full quarter, and that be part thereof, right? So 3 months and 1 day is also considered as 2 quarters, right? So persons transferring from composition scheme to normal scheme, the same thing has been repeated here, right? Cancellation of registration also requires ITC to be reversed because you are registering your you are cancelling your registration. In such cases, earlier you were taking ITC and now you are not eligible to take the ITC. All that ITC that you have taken have to be reversed because now hereafter you are not paying any taxes. All the provisions are same as per the persons who are going from regular scheme to composition scheme, right? This is written in other manner. If capital goods or plant and machinery on which ITC has been taken are supplied outward by the registered person, in such cases this is the same thing that I had given, right? Higher of the following: ITC taken on such goods reduced by 5% per quarter or part thereof from the date of issue of invoice of such goods, or the tax on transaction value, whichever is higher we are going to consider. Okay. If refractory bricks, molds and dies, jigs and fixtures are supplied as a scrap, the taxable person may pay tax on the transaction value. See, what is happening here is there is a registered person, okay, there is a registered person who is supplying such capital goods on which ITC has been taken. Okay, if ITC has been taken on capital goods which was used by registered person and that capital good is being supplied, or such plant and machinery is being supplied further, right? On such cases they have to reverse the ITC, right? Or ITC can also be calculated for this. See, bricks and molds and dies, jigs and fixtures which are supplied as a scrap. So whatever the transaction value arises as per section 15, on that ITC can be availed, right? So please note, ITC is to be reversed on inputs and capital goods which is calculated separately for ITC, CGST, SGST, UTGST and IGST. So all these things are different and you will have to reverse all the ITCs separately, right? You cannot mix these things. The reversal amount is added to the output tax liability of the registered person. Output tax liability means it is outward supply, and that is how you are paying that reversal amount, right? There are some examples which we are going to see today, and this is how we will clear those concepts. So ITC availability on inputs, which is available in the inputs. Please understand this section, right? So let us start with the illustration. Aruna purchases a machine for rupees 80 lakhs. She pays input tax at 18%. right? 80 lakhs into 18%. She opted to change her registration from regular scheme to composition. Regular to composition. It means earlier she was taking ITC, now she will not be taking any ITC after using this machine for 25 months and 12 days. She has used this machine for, machine is a capital good, right? So she has used this machine for 25 months and 12 days. So let us see how many quarters this become, right? So compute how much ITC she has to reverse. The total amount she has paid on the machine is 80 lakhs into 18%, that is 94 lakh 40,000, and input tax that she has paid is 14 lakh 40,000 rupees, right? This amount 18%. Total useful life of the asset she has used is 26 months, because 12 days will be considered as that part of full month. 26 months after rounding off. And useful life of the capital good remaining, that is 60 months minus 26 months which she has already used, 34 months is still available of useful life, and therefore ITC has to be reversed. ITC, how do you reverse this? 14 lakh 40,000 which was used for 60 months, and now we have to reverse it for 34 months, that is 8 lakh 16,000 rupees she has to reverse, right? Hope you have understood this point. Next illustration, Timir Khanna wants to change his registration from regular to composition scheme. What is happening here? Regular to composition. Again, he has to reverse the ITC, right? He has given the following details. Calculate ITC to be reversed and describe the consequences for this act. What are the consequences after making such different registrations, right? This is what we are saying. ITC left in electronic credit ledger is 2 lakh. ITC in inputs including stock as on 31st March 2021, that is 1,50,000. ITC including inputs as on 21st of April, 1,60,000. ITC in capital goods used for 21 months, that is 40,000 rupees. Total ITC availed on these goods was rupees 1 lakh, and date of change of registration was 22nd April. This is very, very important, because this is what we are going to consider for all such calculations. No capital good was purchased during the financial year 21-22, right? So financial year 21-22 starts with 1st of April. From 1st April to 22nd April, no capital good was purchased. Okay, we have understood this question. If you have not understood, please pause the video and read it again. Timir Khanna would have to reverse the ITC until the previous day of change in registration. That is, he has to reverse all the ITC with him up to 21st of April, right? Because earlier he was regular scheme dealer, and now he is becoming a composition scheme dealer as on this date. So 22 onwards he will be a composition dealer, and he will not avail any ITC. Earlier to this date, that is the 21st of April, on this date, whatever stock he has got on this date, he has availed ITC, and that has to be reversed, right? ITC as on 21st of April, 1,60,000, right? We are not taking this. This is irrelevant information. ITC in capital goods unused, 1 lakh minus 40,000 rupees. Why 1 lakh? Total ITC availed was 1 lakh rupees, which is given in the question. 1 lakh minus 40 is 60,000. So total ITC to be reversed is 1,60,000 plus 60,000, that is 2,20,000 he has to reverse. ITC is shown in electronic credit ledger shall lapse automatically, right? Whatever electronic credit ledger he had earlier, that shall lapse. That's all for today, friends. Hope you have understood this section. For any doubts and clarifications, please comment below. Thank you. See you in next video.